Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly live where I showcase recipes from my website sugarfreemom.com or from my cookbook Naturally Keto. All the links are above. Today we are making my sugar-free keto chocolate crazy cake or wacky cake or depression cake, whatever you want to call it. It was super popular in the 1930s during the Depression. My grandmother, most likely if she was still alive, would remember this cake. It was a time when there was no eggs available, no butter, and no milk. So the depression cake or wacky cake or crazy cake was made without those things. And I have adapted it to be keto, low carb, and nut free because I have a son that is allergic to peanuts and tree nuts. There are some variations I'm going to show you today that you can change out some of these ingredients and still have success with this cake. If you want to make it along with me, the link for the recipe is above. And all the other links too. I'm using a food scale today. I've put that there. I'm going to show you my cookbook. That's there. This recipe for the chocolate crazy cake is not in my cookbook. But it's okay because I have lots of good recipes in my cookbook that I want to show you. Tonight for dinner, I'm making my cottage pie. So if you have some ground beef and you have a cauliflower, this rocks and it's dairy free. Here's my cookbook, Naturally Keto. I have family-friendly, low-carb, sugar-free, keto, all gluten-free recipes and over 120 that are nut-free. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Carol. I'd love to see where you're watching from. Please share. Paula's from Michigan and she loves my cookbook. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I have my laptop open. I have my oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I also have in the back here, I've got an 8x8 baking pan that is got parchment in it, so it'll be easy to pour the batter in and lift out when it's done and put it on a cutting board and slice it nicely. I always like to leave a little bit of the parchment overhanging on the sides. Good morning. Hi, Dawn from Tennessee. Hi, Christy from Texas. It is hot and humid where I live, and it is cool in the house. We finally got my central air fixed. We had it, it went on Sunday, and so we just had somebody come out today or yesterday and fixed it for $200, not too bad. But man, without the AC or without central air, it is humid. I worked out this morning, hence my wet curls after showering. They have not dried yet. Hey, Crystal from West Virginia. So today, like I said, we're making this recipe from my website. I have my laptop open because I do not know the ingredients by heart. Sugar-free keto chocolate crazy cake that has also got no eggs, no gluten, no butter, no milk. Of course, you can use butter or milk if you have that. And if you don't want to listen to me make this recipe, I've been getting comments every week on my live videos, and surprisingly, they're mean, like, you talk too much. Guess what? You can just go to the link. You don't have to listen to me talk. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Hopefully those of you who like me and want to listen and see me make the recipe, you'll stay for me. But if you don't like me talking, I'm sorry. Go to the link. I don't need you here. Thank you very much. Okay, that's the little Italian sassiness that comes out throughout mean comments if I see them. So, like I said, go to the link if you don't want to watch me make this. It's there, it's above. Just click on the video if you don't see it. Somebody help them out if they do not want to listen. Good. What you need is sesame flour. You can make it, but it's a pain in the butt. But you can make your own sesame flour from sesame seeds. I buy it. This is the Kavala brand. There's a link above for this as well. It's nice and fine. Now, there are a billion comments asking about using almond flour. I've not tested the almond flour because I already mentioned my son has a tree nut allergy. So I will not test this cake with almond flour. But there was a woman, and then there were others that have made it using almond flour. And she said in the comments that she used a combination of almond meal and almond flour. She also replaced the flaxseed, the ground flaxseed. She used only half of what I suggest, and she replaced it with coconut flour. And she said it came out great. Now, other people that have used almond flour, it didn't come out great. So there are multiple comments on there. You have to read through them. Like I said, I'm not testing it out because my son can't eat it. So I'm not gonna test it out. But I do suggest, if you want best success with this, is using a scale that you can weigh out the ingredients. On the website, on the link above, I give you cup measurements as well as gram measurements. So I'm gonna go with the gram. So let me see. First ingredients. I gotta put my glasses on to read, and you can leave any questions or comments, and I will get to them once we get this in the oven. It will bake for 30 minutes. Obviously, we're not gonna have time to have it cool and frost it, but I will put the link, and I did forget. I have a 2-ingredient chocolate frosting that would be great to go on top of this. So 130 grams of sesame flour. I gotta switch it out, ounces to grams. Here we go. So you're gonna place this in a bowl, and you can certainly do this in the pan that you were going to cook with. I just wanted to do it right here in the bowl for you guys to see it right here. 130 and done. All right, I'll bring it down a little bit so you can see better. Okay, sesame flour is finished. I have it in the bowl. I'm going to zero out the scale, and now we are going to do 60 grams of ground flax, or a half a cup. So I'm just going to use my half a cup measurement for this. Ground flaxseed is another just great substitute I use to make things nut-free for my son. So that's a half a cup there. And yeah, it says 57 grams, but I said 60. Close enough. Good enough. All right, ground flaxseed. You can also buy flaxseed and grind your own. That's another option. Cocoa powder, because this is chocolate crazy cake, right? So we need 1/3 cup, or 25 grams, if I can open it. Ugh, there we go. 130, whoops, zero it out on the scale. And we are going to do 25 grams. Let's see if it comes out right. Yep, on the money, right there. 25 grams, or 1/3 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. What are you drinking today? I always have something with me during my live. I've got a San Pellegrino Essenza, tangerine, wild strawberry, 0 carbs, 0 calories, delicious. So good. And no sweetener added, just so you know. All right, so we did sesame flour, ground flax, cocoa powder, and I use Swerve confectioners. There are other companies that make other sugar-free confectioners. You just have to find them and see what works for you. I find that the Swerve confectioners is really fine. And I think that I haven't done it, but if you were to buy the granular Swerve, you may be able to grind it up in your blender or food processor to make it really fine. But I just prefer to buy it because it's easy and quick. And 1 cup, or 130 grams, zero it out. Let's see. Oh, do I have enough? Perfect. 133. Close enough. Good enough. All right, so now for this cake to really rise, you need to make sure that your baking powder is fresh, because if you have it sitting in the counter for a while, you're gonna need both too, baking powder and baking soda. One is going to be double acting, so it's gonna mix with the wet liquids and activate, but then it's going to also activate in the oven with heat. So I use both so we can create lift in this cake, since obviously it has no gluten in it, which would create that lift, right? So it's always difficult when you're working with non-gluten-free baking keto recipes. To get that lift can be difficult. And so if your baking powder is not fresh, that could be the problem. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we can ensure, that it's gonna lift and look nice and fluffy. All right, those things are done. I keep my baking powder and my baking soda in the fridge. I feel like it just keeps it fresher for longer. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use Redmond sea salt. And we only need 1/2. I have 1/4 here, so I'm gonna do it twice. 1 and 2. And that is the dry ingredients. So you're just gonna whisk these things up in your bowl. don't think I need my scale anymore. I'm gonna move it over here. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining in now, I do a weekly live every Thursday, and I showcase recipes from my cookbook as well as my website. I have like 1,500 free recipes on my website, and I just want to make them for you live because I share different tips and show you that they're not as hard as you think. I hope that during these lives that you can see that it's not as difficult, and you can make keto low carb recipes taste delicious, even having to use different flours. And I've made this for non-low carbers and they love this. It's definitely a great recipe, especially for those with allergies, you know, to nuts and to gluten and to almonds if you can't use, you know, almonds and all that. So I try to make a lot of my recipes nut-free, but keto, because that's what I do. That's what my husband does. So all mixed and wonderful. All right, so let's see. Let me close up the salt because I have a tendency to spill things and we don't want things flying all over the place, right? So your wet ingredients. So we're gonna do 3 wet ingredients. So I'm gonna make 3 depressions in the dry ingredients. Like depressions are just like little little pools. 1, 2, 3. And in one, we are going to add a teaspoon of white vinegar, which I have over here, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. 1, and vanilla, 2. I love vanilla. Gives an extra sweet flavor, even though there's no sweetener in it. Then the next, we are going to, instead of butter, you can use any oil you want. This is avocado oil, which is very, doesn't have a strong taste. If you wanted to use coconut oil melted, you could. If you wanted to use olive oil, you could, but it's going to give a stronger flavor. So we need 5 tablespoons. So we're going to put it in another little depression that I made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could use butter if you don't want to use avocado oil, that's fine, but this was just made during the Great Depression of the 1930s and they didn't have butter. They were lacking butter. They were lacking eggs. It's a very surprising recipe when you realize how good it comes out and it doesn't have eggs. It's pretty amazing. But it's great for people who have egg allergies, right? That you can make this too. And my daughter just got up. It's only 11:13. She's 17. So, and the boys are outside doing the lawn, and my husband's working from home, but he's very loud, so excuse that. The doorbell usually rings, and I have a dog. So just so you know, I'm at home in my kitchen. Everybody's here, family of 5, and the dog always barks, and my grandmother's clock chimes, and the doorbell rings, and it's always crazy. So far, so good, right? All right. So the next thing we're going to do is add. It says in my recipe, a half teaspoon of chocolate liquid stevia. If you don't like stevia, and I actually ran out of my chocolate stevia, I have organic chocolate monk fruit that's liquid and it's about the same sweetness of stevia. So I'm going to put that in, half a teaspoon of that. And then, or you could use a half a cup of another sweetener of choice if you don't want to use it, but the chocolate sweetener is delicious. The monk fruit's really good. And now it comes to the last ingredient. You need a cup of water if you don't want to use heavy cream or unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. If you have none of those things, you can use water. But since I have heavy cream, I'm just going to get the heavy cream and use that in the other depression, and then we're going to mix it all up. So hopefully I have enough. I'll have to get some. I always seem to run out. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to, there's only like 3/4 of a cup, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Oh my gosh. Do not spill near my laptop. That would be bad. All right, pour it in. And that's it, guys. We are going to mix this in all together. You see what I'm doing? Sherry says, my grandmother made this all the time for us when I was growing up. Thank you for keto-fying it. Yeah, it is a great cake. Like, it's quick and easy. And I will say that if you don't like the size of the serving, so I have 12 servings, which gives you 2 net carbs per serving. You can make the sizes bigger. I mean, so if you're gonna do 9 servings instead, well then the carbs I think will go up to 5 net carbs. But if you only, and I have this all written in the recipe, link is above. If you don't, you know, like I said, I'm pretty happy with cooling it off, adding a delicious chocolate frosting. My 2-ingredient chocolate frosting is really, really good on this. And that's enough. The small piece, when I do it in 12 servings, is really enough to satisfy your chocolate craving, or just make a nice dessert for company after dinner. Doesn't take a lot of time. It's only about 30 minutes in the oven. So oven is preheated to 350 degrees. This looks great. You just want to try to get rid of any lumps. If you are using almond flour, I do want to mention that almond flour can get grainy. So if you make it with almond flour and you say it has a grainy texture, it's because of the almond flour or almond meal. So just quick note on that, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go get my pan that is ready to go. And what did I say? Spread it into the pan, bake it in the middle rack of your oven for 30 minutes or until a toothpick in the center comes out clean. Let it cool for at least 10 minutes. Oh, that's my grandmother's clock. Let me get the pan. All right, here's my pan, a little bit hanging over the sides, and you're just going to smooth this in. It wasn't hard, right? Some people don't like, I guess it's an acquired taste for sesame flour. I have not made it with coconut flour because it's very dense. You would need eggs. I don't know that it would work with coconut flour, and I haven't tried it because whenever I make a coconut flour recipe, you need lots of liquid and a lot more eggs. But I do find that sesame flour is the one that you can really swap with almond and have success. I get the question all the time, can you swap coconut flour and almond? Not equally at all. Like, I'll give you an example. About 1/4 cup of coconut flour is equal to about a cup of almond flour. So, and you have, like I said, you have to change the eggs. You have to change the liquid. You have to increase it. Coconut flour is really, really, really dense. I'm spreading it out as best I can. It's thick, doesn't matter. Still gonna bake, still gonna be delicious. Your pan should be 8 by 8, but I wonder if mine's a little bigger because it's looking kind of thin. I might not have checked the bottom of the pan before I started with it. It is what it is. It'll still be good. The family will still like it. It'll be a nice little dessert after dinner. And like I said, I'm making my cottage pie tonight. I've got a lot of casseroles and a lot of family-friendly recipes in my cookbook for the fact that I've done this for a very long time. Keto since 2015. My husband was not on board until like 2018, but also before that, before keto, I was low carb for like 10 years, maybe 2005 till 2015. I was low carb and he was not on board, but I decided that as a mother, I am not gonna make 3 different kinds of recipes. I'm making one and everybody's gonna like it and everybody's gonna eat it. And that's how I started creating recipes. I started my blog back in 2011, though I went sugar-free back in 2004. Here it is, I'm putting it in the oven now. Whoops. All right, 30 minutes. Now I'm gonna get my glasses on and see if I can answer any questions for you guys. Good morning, Trish from Texas. Triple digits, ooh. Yeah, cake to cool you off. Wait till it cools. Let me have a little drink before I answer some questions. Good morning, Becky. Oh, darn it. I know what I wanted to add, and I have it in my recipe notes on the blog. Optional, if you have it on hand, instant espresso powder. It doesn't taste like coffee. It just enhances chocolate flavor. I learned that from Ina on the Food Network. Chocolate really enhances, espresso or coffee, instant coffee in your chocolate baked goods really enhances the chocolate flavor, and I missed it and I forgot it. So Yeah, so anyway, all the nutrition info is here. It is 2 grams per slice. If you cut it up into 12 servings, it'll be more if you decide only 9 servings. But really, once you add the chocolate frosting, you don't, I mean, just need a small piece. I don't, Laura, have the frosting recipe linked above, but you can just go to sugarfreemom.com. I have a great search bar in the top right corner and just click on 2 ingredient chocolate frosting. It's basically like a coconut milk and sugar-free chocolate chips. I use the brand Lily's, which is delicious. Robin says, I'm having a hard time getting back on keto. Can't seem to get back since working from home. Oh, I work from home. I know what you mean. It is very hard. And I would say, Robin, you've just got to make a plan, a food plan, one day at a time and commit to it. Just one meal at a time, one day at a time. Yep, Romina says, I love espresso and chocolate. And Ida says she uses my cookbook almost daily. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bonnie says, I tuned in late. Did you use vinegar? Yes, Bonnie, the recipe's right above, so you don't have to, rewind this. You can just go to the link. Sugar-free mom crazy cake, you can even Google it. Giselle asked, what kind of flour did I use? I used sesame. Can I swap out sesame for sunflower? Probably, but I've never found a sunflower seed flour to buy. You'd have to grind it yourself. Could you get it fine enough? Maybe. But also when you use sunflower seeds, but I guess it wouldn't matter with the chocolate, but when you use sunflowers, their natural chlorophyll will turn your baked good green when using baking powder. And it has both baking powder and baking soda in this recipe. But maybe with the cocoa, it won't show green because it's chocolate. So it might work out fine, but yes, you could. That's a great nut-free alternative. Love my top, very pretty. Thanks, Darlene. This is from Loft. Got it like last year. Yeah, Paula, you can use the sunflower flour. Has anybody found sunflower seed flour already made? Like, I would love that, but I've never found any. I've always had to make my own. So, Ida says, I appreciate the real kitchen. Yeah, definitely real. Just the clock ringing today, not the dog barking, which is surprising. Paula says, I made your no-bake coffee cheesecake for my birthday. Yeah, I did that live last week. It is good. I made it for 4th of July for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, so it was great. Hey, Chantel from Quebec. Hi, Karen. I use sesame flour. Barbara says, I enjoy your lives on your recipes. Thank you. Hey, no mean comments today that I talk too much. I said it at the beginning. I'm getting mean comments on my lives saying, oh, you're talking too much. I can't follow. I'm like, but go to the link. I always put the link above. You don't need to watch me make it if you don't like me talking. And Janet says, I can't wait to try this recipe. I'm new to keto. Yeah, it's a pretty good cake. I like it. Jennifer says, I love you and your recipes. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Love your recipes. And yeah, well, Laura, 1 cup for the sesame flour for me was 130 grams. So because I'm just pouring it in the cup. So that's the thing about using grams and using a scale. You want to, everybody's going to measure it differently. So if I stuck my cup measurement into the bag and then I leveled it off, there could be way more than 130 grams in there. But you saw me, I sprinkled it in to the cup and it was 130 grams. So that's why I'm using grams as well, because it helps with the end product. Because if you have like, instead of the 130 grams, you have like 160, it's going to be a dry cake because that's way more than I used. Sheila says, your talking makes me feel like I'm there, like when I was a child with my sisters and mom. Keep talking. I love you, Sheila. Thank you. That's what I hope, is that you're feeling like you're just my friend. You're in my kitchen and I'm showing you how to make a recipe. And I appreciate that comment so much. Thank you very much. Sandra says, I love you talking. If I don't, then I would just go to the link as you advise. You're so friendly, warm, and interesting to watch. Thank you. Keep talking. Thank you, Sandra. I really appreciate that. And Cindy says, ignore the nasty comments. Yeah, I mean, would anybody tell me, like in my kitchen, you're talking too much? No, but everybody has the need to say it when, you can do it behind a screen and type it. Yeah, so I don't see any other questions. Hey, MC from Africa. Wow. Thanks, Ida. Hey, Jen from Maine. Good morning, Diette Marie from Houston. Must be hot there. And Patricia from Arizona must be very hot. I am sorry. And Joanna from London, England. It's cold and wet. Ready to turn on the oven. Cool. Yeah, we are sweating over here. I'm in Little Rhode Island. Good morning, Barbara from Alabama. All right, so let me tell you about my cookbook. So I wrote this cookbook and it released in October, and it has over 125 family-friendly recipes. I can read some of the list to you. I have a basics section. I have the breakfast section, appetizers, bread, soups, salads, mains, sides, desserts, and beverages. So it's definitely fully packed with lots of information in the front. I share my story. I share how to use the cookbook. It has quick reference icons like dairy-free, egg-free, nut-free, vegetarian, slow cooker, air fryer, 30 minutes or less, or one pan or pot. I also have 4 weeks of meal plans. I have a beginner's guide to keto in the front section. I also share about the differences between sugar-free, which I was back in 2004, and then I went low carb, and the difference between low carb and keto. So I have a whole section in the front, tips for getting started, and I also have a section on breaking a stall, because I've been there many times, as well as dealing with a reluctant spouse or family, because I dealt with that for many, many years. How to stock your pantry. Even if you're not keto, if you're just low carb, you can use this book. This book has great family-friendly recipes. Allergy-friendly substitutions, a whole section on that. Gelatin egg, a flax egg, because for a while I had to do the app diet. I couldn't have any eggs. So, and I actually have Epstein-Barr, and I have hypothyroid. So I really am off eggs and dairy right now because of the Epstein-Barr back in active state. So lots of rubs and jams and sauces, blueberry syrup, caramel syrup, the barbecue sauce, the ketchup, all the things, you know, and of course the desserts. And the 4 weeks of meal plans in the back. So thank you for your support if you've ordered it. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am giving away a free ebook for everyone who sends me a receipt for your purchase, or if you write an Amazon review, I gladly will give you my free 22 low carb keto ice cream recipe ebook. Just send me an email to naturallyketobook@gmail.com and I'll gladly send you that. All right, guys, well, that's it. Mine's in the oven. I hope you've made yours. I don't see any other questions, so we're going to end for today. Now, if you want, you can go back and watch last week's live video was the no-bake coffee cheesecake for 4th of July. It was great. I've done that. Let me see what others I have on my Facebook page. I've got a ton. Let me see. My daughter just reminded me I've made a ice bulletproof mocha frap. That was from my cookbook 2 weeks ago. I made a sugar-free keto peanut butter mug cake for 2. So all you have to do on the Facebook page is go to the left where it has like little categories and just click on videos, and all the live videos will be there. I made a dessert pizza. I made a 2-minute mini cheesecake. I made quick strawberry shortcake recipe live. That's only in my cookbook that I shared. So sometimes I share recipes just from that. Starbucks vanilla bean frappuccino. I think I'm going to make that today. Dairy-free chaffles. These are all my live videos. But again, you can find all these on my website, except for the ones that are just in my cookbook. Then you'd have to watch the whole video. The Dalgona coffee, the whipped coffee, I did a live on that. And my 2-minute keto English muffin. I hope that you love this, that you try this cake, this chocolate crazy cake, and you come back to my website, sugarfreemom.com, and share a little comment that you made it and you loved it. And let me know if you made any changes or substitutions. And also, leave a comment here for a recipe you would love for me to make live. All right? I would love to know. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. A great weekend. I look forward to my weekends. Candy, my cookbook Naturally Keto is above. There's a link right to Amazon for you. And Tina says she loves the cookbook, trying the barbecue sauce this weekend. Oh yeah, that'd be really good on ribs. And Ida says she loves the granola. Oh yeah, I could make that. Linda says, keep talking. We love all the info, hints, and tips you give us. Thank you. Paula says, I appreciate your videos. I love the way you stay so calm when you're cooking. When you don't have enough whipping cream, you improvise and have water to make it work. Yeah, I have to do that, right? That's what happens in a typical kitchen. Geraldine, you can get my cookbook, Naturally Keto, on Amazon. It's 35% off. It's also at Barnes & Noble's, but the link's above. So if you're low carb, can you still have some sweets? I don't eat anything with sugar, Maureen. I only eat low carb and keto. I do not go back to sugar. I have to completely abstain from sugar because of the fact that I can't control myself with sugar, and I stopped back in 2006. So 2004, I went sugar-free. 2005, I had a third baby. I threw it out the window. 2006, I said, God, please help me. I need to get back on track. I will never go back to sugar again if you can help me. And that's what I did since 2006, and I haven't gone back since. And I'm very happy with keto desserts. I am not feeling deprived in any way. And I hope that that's what my recipes and my videos show you that. How do you get your kids to eat healthy? You only make them this for dinner. Start with dinners, and that's the only option. And then provide snacks like this so that they will choose that over the other crap if your spouse is bringing it in, like my husband was for many years. How much is the book, Angel? It's like 35% off. I think it's like $20 or $22, something like that. Leslie, you can buy the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble's. Amazon is 35% off, and it's up above. And Katie says, any egg-free keto breakfast? Yeah. Found out I'm allergic to egg whites. Yeah. Dairy-free chaffles, really, really good. And my slow cooker granola, great options. Maybe with some coconut yogurt, if you can't have dairy, or high-fat Greek yogurt, something like that. I also have a delicious, and it's in my cookbook, but I think I have something like it on my website. It is a dry cereal that tastes like that tastes like cream of wheat. Let me find it. Where is it? Prep Ahead Hot Cinnamon Cereal on page 94. But you can also find a version of it just for 2 servings on my website. But this makes 4 servings. In fact, I have a jar in my fridge right now. And all you do is add, you take a third of a cup out and you put it in a bowl, and then a third of a cup of water or milk, whatever your choice is, and you heat it up for a couple of minutes or on the stove. And then you enjoy it with some fresh berries and some little cream on top. It is a great hot cereal. It's really, really good for breakfast. No eggs needed for that recipe. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye for now.